Hey everybody, Rich here, Rich's Custom Marine and Auto. Today we're going to install a trailer brake controller on our 2003 Chevy Trailblazer. You can see where we're at here. Go up under the dash. I've already mounted it there, which I have another video that I made about building a spacer that goes in. So see this here, how this is inset, that screw is. It was the same thing over there, so I took a piece of Durlin plastic and turned it on my lathe and made a standoff. You can see I still need to clip that zip tie, I'm not quite done there. And then I added this, push the wires down. This is just a little rubber gasket here. So, but now we're going to go ahead and continue on with hooking this up electrically. So we've got this panel here above the pedals, and there's, I believe there's four. They're little bolts. So we've got one here, and we've got one over here, and then there's a couple back there that we've got to take out. So I'm gonna set you guys up here and we'll get those bolts taken out. Alright, so you look this up in other places, YouTube or whatever, they're going to tell you that these bolts are 7mm. They're not incorrect. I believe Chevrolet intended them to be 9/32, but they're exactly the same size. So you can use a 9/32 of course, or a 7mm, whatever your socket set has. And pull these bolts out. So that's what we're looking at right there. We got that one. The nice thing about these vehicles, and most makes are doing this, if it comes from the factory with the factory tow package, they are wired for a brake controller. I know Dodges and Chevrolets for sure. Fords I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure they are. Of course, if you're dealing with the 3500, then the newer ones actually have the brake control installed from the factory, so that's already done for you. But on these Trailblazers, if you go to the back and there's a 7-pin connector back there, then your vehicle is wired. And if it wasn't, it's not a huge deal. It just means the blue wire off of your brake controller, you would actually have to run that all the way back and then install a 7-pin, round 7-pin connector. So these last two bolts hold the OBD2 connector, the diagnostic connector, and that'll let us drop this panel down and make our connections. So right there is we just pulled the bolts out for that. So now this is loose, and you can imagine where I'm working here. It's kind of hard to have the camera and you guys in the same spot, so bear with me here. Okay, had a clip, and an extra bolt, so someone's been in here. And now it looks like, as we have those tabs up there, it looks like it needs to slide towards us, and then it should come off. Which it's not really wanting to do. We've got another connector here. Pop that loose. Kind of see in there. I've just got to pop that loose from the plastic under tray. So now oh, there we go. It was just the carpet holding it up once I got that connector off. Okay, so now that we have that down, this is what we're seeing, guys. So along on this wire harness right there, you can see these taped off ends, and that is our wires for our brake controller. So I tucked my wires up here, which there they are right there. Plenty long enough. So I just need to get those wires freed from that harness, and then we can work on, so we're gonna solder these and heat shrink them, because that's the best way to go here. You wanna try and stay away from crimp connectors, butt connectors, stuff like that, because over time they can corrode and then your stuff will stop working. So solder and heat shrink, and then it'll last for a long time. So I'm gonna get set up to do that, and then I'll bring you guys back. Alright guys, I've got all my wires tinned, and I'll go over in another video. If you guys want a soldering tutorial, just let me know. So it's really important here, because not all of our colors match up, to read what they've got for us here. So these labels, this is from our brake controller, and so see, black is our battery power, which is kind of unusual. That's usually, of course, our ground. And then white is our ground, red is the brake signal from the vehicle, which I'll talk about in just a second, and then blue, the blue does match up, because blue is usually our brake control signal. So now on this one, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get where you guys can read that. Well, we'll do the best we can here with this. So we've got orange as our battery, black is our ground, the light blue, which is our little one there, is CMSL, so center mounted stoplight. And again, I'll come back to that. And then we've got the dark blue, which of course will be our actual brake wire. Okay, so the reason that we need the center mounted stoplight wire is, by law, when you hit the manual brake button on your controller, button, slider, whatever it is, sorry, the trailer brake lights have to come on. Now, vehicles haven't been wired that way in the past, and I have no idea when that came to be a law, but I've been told you can actually be cited if they stop you and activate your manual trailer brake control and the lights don't come on. So either way, we've got all our wires here, we're just gonna hook them up. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna do my main brake wire first. Okay. So that's got that. I usually like to, just in case a circuit is energized, has power, to cover the connections, even though we'll shrink that here in just a minute. Alright, so let's do our grounds next. So ground is white on here, and ground is black on here. And then we've got light blue is our turn signal, or is our brake light signal, and that will be red on this one. And again, that wire is the one that gives us the ability, when we manually activate the brake controller, it'll turn our trailer brake lights on. And then last, just to verify everything's right, so the black on this side is our battery power, and the orange on this side is battery. So we're good. We'll have everything correct. Most Chevrolets, back probably for a long ways, orange is a battery power source in their harness, so that's a pretty common deal. Okay, hopefully my heat shrink's big enough. There we go. Alright, so that gets our connections hooked up. I'm gonna heat shrink those, and then I will do some zip tying to make that harness all neat up in there, and then I'll bring you guys back and show you that. Hey everybody, so my battery died on my camera there, so I just wanted to come back and say thank you all for watching. I've got a couple other things I wanted to share with you though. So for the earlier model of Chevrolets, I know for the 2500 and 3500 trucks, They use a harness like this, and up underneath the dash, like where I was showing you the harness was wrapped up underneath there, there's actually a box that's right next to the steering column. You take the cover off that box, it just unsnaps, and you'll see an opening in there, and then this connector right here will snap down in there. And then this is actually for a customer, so I don't want to rip it open yet. But and then it does have a connector on there that you can will work with some of the brake controllers, but if it's not right for yours, you can always just clip that off and then solder like we did. And the other thing I wanted to show you is I know most of you guys are familiar with the 7-pin trailer connector, but for anybody that isn't, this is what we're talking about here. And of course you got that there. So most of your smaller trailers that don't have brakes are going to use the 4-pin. The advantage of the 7-pin is you're going to have battery power, so that, because when you have brakes you've got to have a battery for breakaway in case it comes unhitched from your tow vehicle, and that'll lock your brakes up and safely stop the trailer without causing a worse accident. And one of those 7 pins will be a positive that'll charge your battery, and then of course you've got your brake line as well that we hooked up earlier. So once again, guys, Rich's Custom Marine and Auto, appreciate you guys following along, and we'll see you in the next one.